Hi YouTube, this is Lunaria from Butterfly Alchemist, and today I want to be talking about changing your thought patterns to be more intentional, and specifically combining conceptual knowledge of something and actionable knowledge of something to travel the distance. This is in order to decrease worry and repetitive thinking. So the first thing is we have many thoughts that often repeat in our minds without end and loop. The thing to recognize is those thoughts are asking you to resolve them. So you can think of it as the way the thoughts are already presenting to you has not worked to resolve those thoughts. That's a big clue. So for example, if you get repetitive memories in your mind that are very emotionally charged, targeting those thoughts through emotion is most likely not going to resolve the thought loop. You need to come at the thought differently. So I'll be sharing one thought practice that helps you gain a better grasp on how to resolve your thoughts. I think one type of thought balance that takes some time to get better at that helps in this area is learning how to balance conceptual thought and actionable thought. So, for example, let's take driving. In order to get somewhere, you have to combine conceptual knowledge of the road, which must be correct, or you will drive into a dead end just from that. But you also need to have actionable knowledge of the road, which is where you practice hands-on driving. And only when those two are balanced do you go the distance, do you resolve what you need to travel towards. And it's the same in these thought loops. To break out of them, you need to know what balance of conceptual knowledge and actionable knowledge are necessary to contradict that thought. So a big hint, like I said, is if you have an emotionally charged thought, you probably actually want to move more into action. So for example, looping within that emotion again and again is not going to help. It's already in an emotionally charged arena. It's already in introspection. So when you take action, that contradicts the thought, and that resolves it at that time. Especially if it's something of a more obsessive nature. And then, if you have thoughts or memories that remind you of times you've really messed up or made a mistake in something, well, you know those thoughts present to you a time you took action too quickly. So now it's time to introspect and resolve what making that mistake has taught you. So again, your thoughts ask for some kind of combination of introspection and action, but it's up to you to really understand what your thoughts are asking for. And I think a way to get better at gauging that is learning in general how to resolve problems through both means, so that you have more than one tool at your disposal to problem solve. So I would say, this is my opinion of something you can do now to put what you're hearing into actionable practice, is get a piece of paper and make 4 columns. The first column will say problem to resolve, and I want you to choose 3 low stakes problems, because in case you make a mistake, you don't want it to be a big issue, right? So 3 low stakes problems you want to resolve that have been circulating in your mind. And then the next column will be conceptual thoughts on the problem. Or, in other words, how do I understand this problem? So all you're doing right now is identifying the problem. How do I understand this? Before you take action, you have to make sure you understand. And then the third column will be, what do I do about it? So that moves a step beyond just, how do I understand this? Now it is, what do I do about it with the knowledge I now have, right? And that is action-oriented knowledge. And the last column is the most important. How and what? So how do I understand this? What do I do about it? Combine those two and come to a thought resolution that combines introspection and action. And that'll teach you how to start balancing over time. Everyone has an area of this that they struggle with more. For example, I had a lot of problems that I couldn't resolve before because I was under-equipped to understand actionable thought. So I was very good at introspective thought. It came naturally to me, it was comfortable to me, but I had to expand into actionable thought in order to address many problems that cropped up. For example, before I lost my job, I had a role as an educator, and book knowledge only takes you so far. You're constantly making welfare decisions for youth that have their lives in your hands. So that quickly teaches you conceptual knowledge is not enough to take us to our final destination. So, and it's been a steep learning curve, but it's been highly beneficial for me to move outside of my regular realm of thought. And that's just to say you can too. You can start working towards whichever one you find to be harder for you, and it'll make you a more balanced thinker ultimately. So I hope this helps, and I've been meaning to post this for about a week, but I was feeling well and happy today to make this post, so thanks.